It's Grand Prix highlights now on ITV1.
At the end of a day in which it's had the honour of staging the opening round of the 2006 Formula One World Championship, the Kingdom of Bahrain can now get back to some of its more traditional attractions. But who struck gold at the Sakhir circuit? We've got the full story of a dramatic Bahrain Grand Prix. The Sakhir circuit here in the desert of the Kingdom of Bahrain is not just a new starting point for a Formula One World Championship season. There's a feeling that the whole of Formula One is entering a new era of competition and change. Certainly during the close season, the teams have had to cope with plenty of change to engines and to regulations. And it's our task to make sure that you start the new season up to speed with it all. So first of all, Louise Goodman and Ted Kravitz take us through everything that's new.
The biggest difference has to be to the engine. In order to slow the cars down and increase safety, they've cut its capacity from 3-litre V10 to 2.4-litre V8. Now, because the car doesn't have so much grunt pushing it through the air, you'll see that the wings are actually smaller this year than they have been previously. And finally, hooray, we're back to tyre changes. And that's going to have a significant impact on tyre degradation, which means more pit stops during the race.
Not much has changed here at the sharp end of Formula One. Renault and McLaren have retained the same driver lineups. Over there at Ferrari, Michael Schumacher's got a new Brazilian teammate, Felipe Massa. But further down the pit lane, some things are looking quite different. Williams has a new engine supplier. Out goes BMW, in comes Cosworth, and there's a new driver as well. Nico Rosberg is the son of 1982 world champion Keke. The AR has become Honda, and there's a new partner for Jenson Button. Rubens Barrichello brings 13 years of Formula One experience to the team. Meanwhile, BMW is building Formula One cars as well as Formula One engines. Now it's taken over the Sauber team. Jordan has become MF1 Racing. The team's new colours might not be as bright, but it's hoping its future will be brighter. And the same applies to Scuderia Toro Rosso, formerly known as Minardi. American Scott Speed joins Tony Liuzzi in the driver lineup. Finally, there's a brand new team, although it's currently running 4-year-old Arrow chassis. Japanese newcomer Yuji Ide and Takuma Sato are the men in the driving seat at the Honda-backed Super Aguri team.
Super Aguri with their own challenges at the back of the grid. At the front of the grid, it's a huge season of challenge and opportunity for Britain's Jenson Button with Honda. A real feeling at the moment that he might have the car to at last give him that breakthrough win and maybe make him a title contender as well. And he shares that hope.
There have been so many fantastic British drivers competing in Formula One and world champions. A lot of them obviously have got things to say about Formula One as it is now, but I think this is a year where hopefully they're going to see a British driver at the front again, and for me it's going to be a very exciting year, for not just for British fans but for fans around the world.
So after all the close season speculation, the action at last. Round one, the Bahrain Grand Prix, and taking us through all the demands of the Sakhir circuit, James Allen and Martin Brundle.
The Bahrain International Circuit, 5.4 kilometres, 14 corners and plenty of long straights. It's a 57-lap Grand Prix. A lot of undulation in this racetrack, and the engines tend to fill up with sand too. It's a major problem for the teams. This is pretty typical of the racetrack. Turn 8 as a hairpin, sweeping to the right-hand side for 9 and 10. Downhill, braking, shifting, then turning in. All the sort of corners that really challenge a driver and a Formula One car. And Michael Schumacher rose to that challenge with his first pole position since last August.
It's an all-Ferrari front row. Michael Schumacher's 65th career pole position equals the all-time record of the great Ayrton Senna. Felipe Massa just 4/100ths of a second slower than the maestro. Alonso and Button, both potential race winners on row 2. Row 3, it's Montoya in the McLaren and Barrichello in the Honda. Through to row 4, Mark Webber and Christian Klein, both outstanding in the Williams and the Red Bull respectively. Fisichella and Heidfeld. Fisichella had engine problems, he's 9th. Heidfeld happy to be in the top 10. Then it's Villeneuve and the rookie Rosberg in the second Williams. Through to row 7, Coulthard not very happy with 13th. Jarno Trulli, Toyota having a bad day in qualifying. Then the two Toro Rosso cars, Liuzzi and Speed, make up row 8. Row 9, another Toyota casualty, Ralf Schumacher and Christian Albers. Montero and Sato in the Super Aguri on row 10. And at the back, Ide and Kimi Raikkonen, a huge name right at the back of the grid because of this incident, a suspension failure in the first part of qualifying. You know the drill, when the 5 lives go off, we'll be racing here 57 laps. And the 2006 Formula One World Championship begins now. What about Schumacher? Here he goes. Look at Montoya up the middle. Alonso is attacking Massa. He makes him push to one side. Massa's weaved twice now. He can't do that again. Is Alonso going to have a run at him? Massa goes defensive. He was doing that for his team leader, undoubtedly. Button the victim there. He's been passed by Alonso and Montoya, I think. So Jenson Button has made a poor start.